Hi, it's been a bit. Hello, it is finally time for me to stream again. Missed Monday because something came up, but let's try to get back on track. So yeah, this is what we would have done on Monday, but I didn't really have a one-off plan for this week anyway, so it's all good. I might have just tripled down on this game, with the time. But hi Serena, thank you for the head pats, I hope you're doing well. We are gonna get started right away with a very special game to me. This is gonna be fun, I hope. Because, I tried practicing this game a bit and had an interesting time with it. So we'll see how this goes. Did I plug the Wii U in? One sec. Ah, there we go. It wasn't an issue of plugging in the Wii U, it's that it didn't have the capture card scene set up. There's a lawnmower outside, by the way, so if you hear background noise, that's what it is. Also, I'm using USB loader checks, because one, dual layer discs are hard to run, and two, it just loads faster if you actually just rip the disc and do it this way. I have my old copy, not old, it's actually a replacement copy, but I do have a copy. It's just more convenient and actually better on the hardware to run it this way. For sake of full disclosure. Okay, so it is time once again for Fox Girls Favorites. It's been a bit since we did a little break for the Jam Marathon, which is going to be interesting on the YouTube side of things, where the Jam playthrough went up way earlier. But yeah, Super Smash Bros. Brawl is a very important game for me. Basically, the TLDR is this game looked cool. It looked really neat. So before this came out, I played Melee, had a decent time with it. Didn't really devote much time to Melee, admittedly. And then Brawl came out, and then I kind of fixated on this until my Wii stopped running dual-layered discs. Because Brawl was dual-layered, it is notoriously hard to run on launch model Wiis, so I didn't really get a whole lot of time with this game either, for different reasons. I've told the story before, but I literally bought a copy of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 day 1, because I knew it'd be rare, because the limited print situation, GameStop exclusive and all that, and I knew it'd be hard to find. So I made sure to get it right away. I couldn't even play the game, because my Wii would not read the disc at all. I didn't even try. So yeah, it's very interesting going back to this game. I remember this opening, it's very iconic, I'd say. Though I almost feel like there's something about Melee's intro that hits different, because Melee's intro, and I think even 64's, is a bit more bespoke in terms of just being made using pre-rendered. It's just a pre-rendered cutscene, but like Brawl just uses cutscenes from the main story and intersperse gameplay into it, so I almost feel like this opening is still very good, but I do think there's something that hits different about Melee having like a specific opening just for the opening's sake and not like doubling up as anything else. If that makes sense? Did I explain that well? I have no clue if I explained myself remotely well, but yeah, a very good intro. I like how it actually finishes on the title screen, like the song. The song was composed by Nobuo Uematsu of Final Fantasy fame, so it's very good. So today we're gonna start with Subspace Emissary, because of course we are. This is the part that everyone likes about this game. You never knew that? Which part? Alright, normal, because I'm feeling brave. This is a very interesting story mode. There's zero dialogue in this story mode, but it basically has a lot of charm anyway. It's very iconic. Yeah, it was a big deal at the time. It's just the funny part with Smash Wii U having such a hard time getting any Final Fantasy music. It's like, if you know it's Uematsu, it actually makes a lot of sense. It has that kind of vibe to it. It's like, if you hear a song, at least I can say this, if I hear a song by Yoko Shimomura, I just immediately know it's Yoko Shimomura, because like her vibe is just very apparent. Like if you hear a Mario and Luigi song, and then if you take a Mario and Luigi song and stick it into Kingdom Hearts, it would probably fit perfectly, and vice versa, because like Yoko Shimomura's sound like design for her soundtracks is just very similar. I think of like the first battle theme in Xenoblade 1, like the field theme around like Colony 9 and everything. It's like that's very, like immediately I can tell it's one of the songs Shimomura did. She did not do the later Xenoblades, only Xenoblade 1. Wow, this game is floaty. After playing Ultimate, you get kind of used to how that game feels. Trying to go for the Meteor Smash just to style on Kirby a bit, but it's fine. Oh, I got blown up. Okay, we're fine. So Mario's interesting in this game. He's actually been retooled a lot from Melee. Instead of Mario Tornado, he has Flood, and has kept Flood ever since. I think that's a stupid choice. I wish he had a different down B after this game, because like, I don't know why he's had Flood all this time. It's been 20 years since Sunshine. Please give him a new down B. So the gimmick in this is characters like trophies that come to life. You get little different versions of the cutscene too, depending on if you pick Kirby or Mario. I don't know how that works in 2-player actually. But then you have the Halberd show up. Masahiro Sakurai has a massive bias towards the games he has worked on, which is always fun. People note that with this game in a lot of ways, and also Ultimate Story Mode where Kirby's the only survivor initially. He loves Kirby a normal amount, and yeah, I'm still mad at Air Riders not having like one of the Mage Sisters. I'm also mad at it not having like a 64 character like Adeline. Not even that, but just like, you know, Ado, Adeline, Ribbon, characters like that. It's like genuinely annoying to me. And he just kind of focuses on the stuff he worked on. I'm amazed Tyranza and Suzy are in the game. I'm gonna be real. Like, genuinely kind of surprised by that. But yeah, we're playing Zelda now. Zelda's my main in Ultimate. So, I'm like fairly comfortable playing as her even in this game. So don't be surprised if I play Zelda a lot in this playthrough just because of familiarity. My actual like later main going forward would be Pyramithra and Joker, which is very unfortunate for obvious reasons. Like, can't play as them in this game. But yeah. I genuinely have a lot of memories of this game. It was one of those things where it's like when you're like 12 years old, which is not actually a far off number. I just threw out a number, it's actually very accurate. When you're like 12, it's like, this is peak. 12 and a Nintendo kid. This game is like the actual peak. The funny part is, in hindsight, my opinion of this is less positive. Just because, from a gameplay standpoint, I actually have some qualms with it. Like, the vibes are ridiculous, but playing it doesn't feel as fun to me anymore. I still enjoy the cutscenes and the fan service and all that, but it doesn't quite hit the same. Just because I think the gameplay could use some work. Also, these cutscenes are very crusty. Like 480p. Also, yeah, they set off a bomb, but also, hey, surprise! Mario gets the shit kicked out of him a lot in these games. People are like, wow, I can't believe Sephiroth just impaled Mario. It's like, no, this isn't entirely a new thing. I'm gonna rescue Zelda, like Peach this time. I rescued Zelda on my practice run. Never thought about why these cutscenes are why it's so layered. And also music. Sakurai loves uncompressed music. That's why Air Riders is so massive in terms of file size. It's just the music. I think that's why Ultimate's as big as it is. It's mostly just the soundtrack, from what I recall. And yeah, FMVs aren't exactly you know, great for storage space. For Xenoblade 1, I think it's partly because of the dual audio, for example. There's so much audio in Xenoblade and also it's just a big-ass game. Oh, hi, Wario. He's here now. You know, the pop-up title cards always have just done irreparable damage to the internet, I feel. Because everyone that was, like, circa 2009 YouTubers were always doing that, it feels like. Maybe not damage, but you know what I mean. It's irreparably altered everything. I hope everything's working okay. I kind of set up the stream oddly last minute, despite actually being ready on time. And yeah, that's just blown up now. Once again, Kirby is one of the only survivors, because Sakurai bias. I think he's the only survivor anyway. Like, even if you pick Mario or Kirby, it doesn't change that part of it. Because Mario still gets bodied either way. I'm gonna save a lot, because I don't trust my Wii U. It's pretty old. Even if I'm not running the game off of the actual disk drive, I'm running off a hard drive backup. Just because, again, I talked about this a little bit before. But again, I'm running this through USB loaded GX, same as Super Paper Mario. But in this case, I'm not running it off the disk, I'm running it off a backup on the hard drive, just because dual layer and also load times are way better doing it this way. And Brawl has really bad load times, so this just will hopefully speed up the playthrough a little bit. But yeah, I was at like a store waiting for a vaccine appointment actually a couple years ago, and it was in the mall, so I was just like, hey, let's go to the store nearby, and I found a copy of Brawl for like 30 bucks, and I'm like, sure. I got rid of my childhood copy because one, I couldn't play it for aforementioned reasons, and two, I had the mentality as a kid of, hey, sequel, I can get rid of the previous game, and that was the stupidest thing I did as a kid probably. There were so many games I wish I had kept. Mario Kart Double Dash, Melee for one. Though I had the Player's Choice version, the one that no one cares about. Because, yeah, you can't do all the cool, like crazy stuff in that version, because a lot of it got patched in 1.1. Hi Manaphy, I like your movie a lot. A normal amount, you could say. This got too scratched, that's unfortunate. What else? I think, actually, here's a weird thing. This might be the last Wii U game, or Wii game for Fox Girls Favorites. There is a Wii U game, though, which actually will be next. I'm skipping ahead to the Wii U briefly because, to be blunt, I'd rather play the remake of a game, or a remaster of a game, compared to the original. I wasn't even sure which of the two in this case I actually played first, between this and the next game on the list. It was kind of a toss-up actually, but I kind of realized because of said character being in Brawl, that it actually makes more sense to do this first, weirdly enough. And I think that actually makes sense in my childhood order, that I would play Brawl before playing the next game on the list. By the way, this will not be a 100% complete playthrough for my sanity. I do not know where all the collectibles are. A couple of them are really obnoxious because they're in auto-scrollers. So yeah, I'm just gonna wing it and not worry about that. Especially with like the Great Maze. Like, yeah, no, I don't have time for that. I don't have patience. Alrighty, but yeah, we're just gonna kind of blitz through this a bit, and once we're done, we'll probably go through some of the other, like, side modes. Side modes being a very, debatable term. But yeah, I don't know, Mario just gets beat up a lot in Smash Bros. Games. So yeah, no dialogue. I like playing as Pit more because he can fly, therefore you can actually access certain areas. this was Pit's first appearance since A Myth and Monsters for Game Boy. Pit had not had a game in a long-ass time, and then Sakurai and his team made Uprising, which is kind of a good game, but like, damn. That's a great way to develop Carpal Tunnel. I still have my original copy. I don't have the cardboard box, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I do, actually. I need to check. But I still actually have the little stand that came with it, too. It's very nice. I actually used it for my phone for the longest time. When I was like, you know, playing a game, needed a walkthrough up, I just have it on my phone. But yeah, he doesn't have all of his weapons from the other games, or from Uprising. He does have the bow, though. It's kind of a weird retroactive thing where elements of Pit and Palutena in this game got used in Uprising, which felt a little bit backwards in a way. I really want there to be anything else with Kid Icarus. A port would be great. However, Monkey's Paw will be made by Forever Entertainment, so that's why I don't want a port of Uprising. In Forever Entertainment's defense, which is not a sentence I'll say very often, just use Front Mission 3, well, all the front missions and Panzer Dragoon and House of the Dead, in all fairness, they did eventually patch the DK port. The biggest issue with returns was at launch. There was a bug where, actually that was a carryover from the 3DS version, because it's essentially a port of the 3DS version. Kind of like Hyrule Warriors Legends to Deluxe, or Definitive. But it's a case of the multiplayer got broken in the 3DS version, where if you actually bounce off an enemy, the window for the other person to jump on it doesn't work. It's too short in the 3DS version. So like if you're having to do a stage like, you know, the K stages where you're having to like do a lot of enemy bouncing, they're basically impossible in co-op. It's a mix between the 3D version and Tropical Freeze, which is stealing Dixie, yeah. But then with the update that also added like Switch 2 support, it did actually increase the window. However, the window to bounce off an enemy for the second person is still smaller than the Wii version, so it's not perfect, but it is an improvement. I'm having a weird issue with this game. I thought I fixed it, I apparently didn't, where sometimes the input gives out. Like, you'll see me dash, and if I just stop abruptly, that's not me. I'm holding forward. It's because the connectivity to the Wii remote is kind of wonky at the moment, and I don't know why. Hi, Fox. Bye, Fox. But like, you know, when you're a kid, this is really cool. Like, it's hard to overstate, like, you know, as a kid, just how neat this is, seeing all the characters crossing over. This is like, people joke, like, this is like a lot of people's like Avengers Endgame. But yeah, I appreciate the vibes, but the gameplay itself is like platforming through very 2008 gamey levels in a way that's not inherently the most interesting thing to me. Like, a lot of these levels are very generic, they're not really themed to the games. The enemies aren't really themed to the games either, they're mostly themed to the Subspace Emissary original enemies, which isn't inherently a bad thing, but it does create an interesting situation where you don't really see the enemies for each corresponding character. It's actually something I like about Smash Run, being able to run into, like, you know, just regular enemies for the different characters. And also Melee's adventure mode, I actually think did a better job in actually being having gameplay fan service versus Brawl, where a lot of the fan service is just the cutscenes, to be blunt. And it's funny, in terms of like the actual timeline of Fox Girls favorites, there's one game between Brawl and this. But it feels like it's been forever because Pokemon Platinum took so long. So yeah, hopefully going through the rest of 2026, we'll be able to pick up the pace a little bit on Fox Girls Favorites. Given I still have like... God damn it, I might actually have 17 left after this. If my math is correct, I think it is around 17. Because of course it is. Yeah, it's a game with really nice vibes, but objectively speaking, it's not the best Smash either. For single player content, it is the most like feature-rich Smash Bros. Game, I'd argue. Because even Ultimate, I don't think has as much content in some ways. But it's probably got the worst game feel next to 64, if I had to actually be critical for a moment. I almost made a joke bet about like, what if I just gave a gift sub to chat every time I tripped? But I don't want to inflict that upon myself. That feels like a terrible idea. If I was like a really wealthy streamer and could get away with it, I would do that. But I do not trust my luck with that. But it was an idea I had. It's like, what if I give a sub every time Kirby trips? Or like a character trips? You don't think that's a good idea? Yeah, that's why I changed my mind on it. I wanted to do it as a bit, but then it's like, yeah, no, that's unironically gonna be a problem. On my like practice run to unlock all the characters and such to go through the event mode to actually have it unlocked this time, instead of like with Melee where I thought I had everything unlocked and I didn't. I tripped like 3 or 4 times, which was quite a bit for a story mode playthrough where you're not really on the ground very much, I feel. You're mostly jumping, I feel. It's a platformer. So even compared to the main mode, it feels like you're not really, you know, on the ground much. I also play Smash very fast and loose, by the way, so don't be surprised if I game over at some point, just by being careless. Because yeah, I'm not very good at this. The most time I dedicated to Smash Bros. Is Ultimate. I played Wii U actually a fair amount, but the people I knew at the time were like very into Smash to the point where I just was very outclassed. So I didn't really have fun. I say as I'm also likely to get bodied by Serena if I play with her. Let's see, jungle. That's fun. This level is this the one with the boss? This cutscene's very good though. Again, one of the only times you see Mario enemies, so you don't have any Kremlings, because of course you don't. In this era of DK. I'm gonna be blunt, I kinda hate how DK looks in this game. I kinda hate how a lot of the characters look in this game, actually. It's so like mid-2000s, like circa 2007, 2008 visually, where everyone was just trying to be like gritty and cool. Luigi has a higher chance. That's why I tripped so much as Luigi, probably, because I do think it was Luigi that I tripped a bunch as. I'm just casually aura farming. It's fine. DK doesn't have his role in this game, so I don't like playing as him in this one. I'm gonna try to play as all the characters at least once. I can't guarantee it'll work out, but it is something I plan on attempting, at least. I regret picking DK already. Wow, this is not fun. Luigi's dash attack before 4 is genuinely awful. Yeah, or DK. Yeah, like, wow, DK's not good in this game. Holy cow. But yeah, I still stand by my opinion that the next Smash Bros. 1 will be bad. JK, unless. But it will be perceived as bad because how you follow Ultimate. You either do Ultimate DX or something, or like Ultimate Switch 2 Edition, to get around like having to renegotiate for all the characters, or you trim down the roster significantly, and then it just is a Mario Kart World situation where it feels heavily like stripped down to the point of like, why not just play Ultimate? Don't really care if the roster's cut, yeah, but I know a lot of people will care. Hi, Son. Welcome on in. Hi to everyone watching. Hope everyone's having a good time. I had an interesting experience. I don't know how much I can talk about without potentially doxing myself. But there was something that happened late at night in my neighborhood that was very disconcerting. And as a result, I definitely didn't get to sleep as soon as I hoped. But because I was so wired, I did actually get something set up for the next Fox Girls Favorites, and I'm very excited about that. Kinda wish I was playing that instead of Smash, not gonna lie, just because as much Smash Bros. Smash Bros. Brawl means a lot to me. It is still a very chunky game to play at times. Again, even though I love the vibes, I do think the game feel in Brawl was not great. Imagine you were playing with me. That'd be fun. I just don't know how to set that up on hardware in a reasonable amount of time. I should have actually considered that, giving up the day off today. But I also don't really trust the Wii online on actual hardware to run very well. Even with like some kind of remote play setup, but again, I don't know how you'd even do that on actual hardware. But yeah, I'm kind of a hardware girly. If I can play it on hardware, I'd prefer to do it that way. Obviously, there have been cases where I have emulated for Fox Girls Favorites, but for the most part, I do like using actual hardware if I can. You wouldn't be able to do this online? Yeah, I had a feeling, because this is local only. Plus, the actual online in Brawl is bad. I think I've told this story before, but my only experience playing the Wii online, fun thing, my family didn't even have like Wi-Fi or even Ethernet until like 2009. So the actual story behind that is dial-up. I've told this story before and it's actually relevant. Happy birthday, Sonic 06, later this year. But I remember being so excited for Sonic 06 that I would watch trailers like 1 frame at a time on dial-up. So that was fun. If anyone remembers dial-up, 1, you can hear the sound it makes and immediately get like PTSD. And 2, yeah, no, it's not easy to watch a whole gameplay trailer on dial-up. I remember playing like the little Sonic 06 Breakout clone they had, which I guess now is no longer the worst Breakout clone I've ever played, thanks Unbeatable. And then like there was a little Shadow Flash game too for Shadow the Hedgehog 2005. Yeah, legit the reason why I wanted Wi-Fi / Ethernet at the time, not even kidding, was because I wanted to play Paper Mario, and it was a virtual console game. So that was kind of the push to actually get decent internet at the time. It wasn't the only reason, I'm pretty sure, but it was part of the reason of getting like an Ethernet cable. Ethernet adapter, like the little USB 2 plug-in thing. Okay, I forgot about that part. When I did the practice run, I skipped all the cutscenes, partly so I wouldn't know exactly what was happening in the story, because it's been a bit. So I can still get caught off guard by a few things like that. Is this the stage that kind of has a weird gimmick? It might be the next one, actually. We're playing as Pit, because there's one item that's impossible to get as Mario, as far as I know, unless you're like a god at wall jumping. I'm not, though. But yeah, it's kind of funny looking back at the hype cycle of this game. They had like daily posts and everything. I was very excited, even though I had barely played Melee at the time. The biggest thing was just I like Mario. I liked Mario a lot at the time, so I was excited for any game with Mario in it. So yeah, and then I learned about a bunch of different franchises. I wouldn't have played a lot of games if it wasn't for that. For example, this game has some interesting roster pulls that mean I definitely discovered some franchises I was not likely to discover otherwise. Is there an item up here? I feel like there might be. Like, cause there's like a really trolly item in this stage. There it is. Basically, one of the first trailers for this game had the big reveal of, oh my god, Solid Snake is in this game. I hate his design and how it's actually completely ruined everyone's perception of Solid Snake, actually. This is not an exaggeration or a bit, this is genuinely how I feel. Because everyone takes the beard of Naked Snake from MGS3 and sticks it onto Solid Snake from MGS2, and that's not, well, to quote the game, no, that's not Solid Snake. Like, it genuinely bothers me how every design going forward for Snake does that same, like, design fumble as Smash does. Mind you, in this game it almost feels like he is kind of a hybrid of the two, given like some of the CQC stuff. No, actually the CQC is mostly based on 2, I think. Yeah, I genuinely feel like it's weird how no one gets that about the character, like, cause Solid Snake in 2 is very like scraggly looking. He doesn't have like a full beard. But everyone just gives him the full beard in like Fortnite and all these games. Rainbow Six, that's very depressing actually. Yeah, that's kind of my take on it, where this game just for some reason broke people's brains for being able to actually show MGS2 Solid Snake correctly. And it almost feels like it's created a Mandela effect. Reminds me, I've actually never played MGS1 in full. I've dabbled briefly, but I've never actually finished it. It's one of those games I feel like I should play. I like 2 and 3. And 4 is my first, not kidding, because that was the game that was relevant to this one, to Smash Brawl at the time. In actuality, there are direct references to it, which is funny that literally this year is going to be the first time MGS4 was actually playable on a Nintendo platform. Or just anything beyond PS3, for that matter. I don't know how they're dealing with some of the Easter eggy type stuff. There's one conversation with Otacon where he's like, you should switch discs now, Snake, and then he's like, oh wait, you're on a Blu-ray, you're on PS3, you don't have to switch discs anymore. So it's like, what are they gonna do about that line for the collection? I'm still mad about the collection, by the way. I think this would have been a slam dunk opportunity to put Revengeance on there too, like the 360 era essentially, and the PS3 era essentially. So it's genuinely weird to me. It's only like, God, it's weird. Isn't it 4 Peace Walker and Ghost Babble? Is that actually the lineup, or am I hallucinating? Because that's a weird lineup. Like, why would you put Ghost Babble there? I think Acid would have made more sense, because it's like, you know, that time period, essentially. Hi, this is the Ancient Minister, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, Mario's here now. I kind of forgot that Mario's involved, to be honest. Entire cutscene of them just falling over. Alrighty, hey Leon. But yeah, my take on Smash is they need to just do a reboot, essentially, like retool like movesets and stuff to justify it, and also maybe expand the gameplay mechanics. Give characters more tools to make up for the cut-down roster. Oh, is this already time for that? Okay, I forgot the order of operations here. Oh, that sucks, actually. If... That's how I think it is. No, wait, this is a different stage, I think. Oh, that's bad. This probably would have been my introduction to Rayquaza, now that I think about it, because I wouldn't have played Emerald until later that year in 2008. Because I remember it was around Thanksgiving and it had the flu. I don't know if I even... That's a weird freeze frame for that. Like, here's Fox's shoulder. Yeah, I actually don't remember if I told that story of having the flu when I played Pokemon Diamond. It was around Easter weekend, or Easter in 2008, where I had the flu and I was so out of commission. I mostly just played Animal Crossing in a beanbag, not kidding, and also played a lot of Pokemon Diamond. I remember going through the Snow Point Temple, that like Regigigas was in, and exploring that while also like extraordinarily sick. And then I got the flu again in November, October, somewhere around there. It was around the time that's like... Ow. Wow, that's a screen KO. That's ridiculous. Or star KO, right. Screen KO is something different. Genuinely, I am mad about that, because it's like, wait, that shouldn't KO at 80%. What the hell? Okay, we're done. Piece of cake. Also, each character has 3 taunts in this one. I think that's new to Brawl, because previously they only had 1. I feel like every animal character in this game kind of looks bad, because they're trying to go for like a realistic fur look, but they just look kind of like low res, basically. So hey, how do you feel about Milky Way wishes? Floor... whatever the first, like, grassy area is. I forgot the name of it. But, this is that mechanic. You have doors taking you to essentially different little dimensions. And you have to, like, go back and forth between the two to actually progress. So, yeah, again, Sakurai tends to reuse concepts a lot, to be blunt. Ow. This is a very good song, by the way, but I actually think it completely... Like, I don't know if it's just me, but like, I've barely been able to tell that this is like... Sticker Brush Symphony. Like, genuinely, it doesn't even sound like it to me. Like, if you told me this is the same song as like the DKC2 version, I don't know if I'd believe you. Like, I don't know if it's just me, but it just feels, like, weirdly detached from the original. That was inefficient, but it's fine. I actually don't know how many stages we've gone through so far. It feels like we're making good progress. Yeah, same. Yeah. It's a good song, I don't really hear Sticker Brush Symphony in this. Oh, this part confuses me, actually, because there's like a door that just burns the hell out of you, and I don't know what it's for, because I always forget. Because my memory sucks. I do like being able to jump on Goombas. I almost just went into the meme out of reflex. Stomping on turtles. Alright. So, what does that do? Again, like, this is just the door that burns you. Literally. Like, I don't know what that's for, because my memory sucks. So I think we actually have to go back in here. Yeah, oh god. Up here. I definitely feel like Fox could use a rework for a moveset. Cause like, none of his abilities actually matter in any video game, I feel. In the actual main series, cause like, when has he ever used a reflector? I don't think he ever has. In-game. At least as far as I can remember, it's never come up. Alrighty. I think we're actually getting close to the end of this level. This one's not that long. Oh shoot, the river. Why did saying the river just make me think of the Jonah VeggieTales movie where they're like driving to the river Bob? Ow. Okay, not where I thought I would land. I could've sworn there's like a secret in this level, but I think it's actually a different level, which would be nice, so you know, don't have to fight Rayquaza again. But I almost feel like it is this level that has like the secret character at the end of the game. Again, not the best memory, despite literally just playing this like a week ago. Yeah. I think like 90% of the pre-ultimate roster could use tweaks, to be honest. Like Samus definitely could incorporate stuff from like Dread. I also just in general feel like Mario's moveset being almost identical throughout every game is just kind of a disservice given how much you could incorporate now. Like the Mario finale, I think is the name of it. Like I almost would give him like a wonder thing. If I were to give him a new Final Smash, like make it like a wonder transformation. Or something from Odyssey. Oh, hi. I wasn't expecting this song for some reason. I expect K. Rool to show up, but that's the wrong game. It's kind of funny how much they reused that same trailer, actually. Because, like, they did the bit with K. Rool, and then they do the bit again with Banjo. Oh, hi Bowser, why are you here? I forgot about this. I realized, like, when I was doing my Unlock Everything playthrough a week or two ago, I didn't use the reflector at all, now that I think about it. Not one time. So yeah, I'm not the best at Smash Bros. So do not expect high-level gameplay as we go through this story mode. Or all the other modes too, for that matter. If that had actually KO'd, I would've been mildly confused. I'm also using a classic controller, because again, running this through a Wii U, therefore I don't have... And I also I've never gotten the GameCube adapter. I've eyed it a few times, and now it's like stupid expensive to get the like official like OEM Wii U GameCube controller adapter. I had to stop and think of what it's even called. But yeah, I kind of want one now that I know about homebrew, but definitely not worth it. Why is it just a big-ass arrow? Diddy wanting to square up. Bowser's so dry in this game, and not in the dry Bowser way. He's just dry Bowser. God, you tired of waiting? What are you waiting for? Oh, wait, that's a line in the song. My bad, I'm slow on the uptake. Hi, Lucas, you're depressed, as you probably would be if you had just played Mother 3. I have actually not played Mother 3. Believe it or not, it's kind of a weird gap in my, you know, classic game history. So, not gonna lie, I have no clue what this is all about, and I never have, because I not deliberately looked up much about Mother 3, because it's a game that everyone's like, oh my god, you can't spoil it. You gotta go in with, like, out knowing too much, as Sakurai loves to spoil things, so I do know a couple things about Mother 3, because of course I do, but, I don't know any of, like, the through line of how everything gets from point A to point Z, because most of the things I know about Mother 3 are literally the ending, because, like, the final boss, I'm pretty sure. And then there's, like, an event in Ultimate that spoils a different boss that's like, damn, that sucks. But in defense of Smash Ultimate, this isn't as bad as like Xenoblade, where it's like, oh, this game is semi-recent. You know, Mother 3 is 20 years old, so it's very much on me for not having played it. It's never getting an official English release, exactly, so it's like I might as well just play the fan translation. But I keep wanting to do it for a stream, because it's the kind of thing where it's like, I almost feel like my reactions would be good to like preserve but because of just how rarely I stream and because I'm already dedicated to Fox Girls Favorites, it's like I have no clue when the hell that'll ever happen. It's like if I say after Fox Girls Favorites, that's like 2 years from now. I have 2 Xenoblades to go through. It'll make you cry as a warning, but you're down for VA. That'd be fun, actually. Get a crew together. Kinda wish Thunder was that good in the game proper. Yeah, I've heard it's a very emotional game, and I know about the final boss. Kinda wish it was that easy to use PK Pulse. This story mode is just ore farming, the mode. Oh yeah, speaking of the final boss, I'm pretty sure this is the final boss. I actually don't know, and probably don't confirm it, but I could have sworn this was like near end game at least, from what I understand of Mother 3. Wow, Lucas is like not doing good. Is this the one direct correlation between Mother 2 and 3? Because Porky is in both. This attack sucks ass. Yeah, I'm discovering that. God, I wish I was playing as like a different character. I'm just gonna back air over and over. That seems like the best bet here. Oh my god, okay. Dodged all that somehow. Oh my god, huh. That sucks. I always forget how floaty Brawl is, so I don't DI properly, because it's like, that's not gonna kill, I don't need to DI that much, and it's like, oh, okay. Hi, Star Fox Assault Fox. I almost threw a Star Fox game into Fox Girls Favorites, but the problem is, if I want my first Star Fox games, I'd have to go with Assault or Command, and neither are games I feel that strongly about, unfortunately. I like Assault a decent amount, but Command, being my first Star Fox game, is not good. I love it, like in an ironic way, but it's not good. It's got the Shadow the Hedgehog Westopoulos problem of you have to beat the first stage like every time. So yeah, as a kid I was really good at that first stage because I played it so much trying to get the endings. I also didn't have like a guide at the time because of, you know, dial-up like I mentioned earlier. So I kind of just had to wing it. I was on my own trying to figure out the story paths, and I never could figure out how to get the cursed ending. As in, curse with a K, because that's literally how the ending plays out. That's not me saying the ending is cursed, it's me saying it's the ending with cursed. The problem is the canon, quote-unquote, main path of Star Fox Command sucks. Because it involves, like, Crystal... Actually, I don't even remember. It's not a positive ending, though. Probably to encourage you to be like, oh, you should go play the other endings. But yeah, the standalone endings are typically the G0 one, just because it's stupid as hell. To be like, oh, Fox and Falco are now, like, racing pilots. The one shot of, like, Fox crying at a bar and Falco consoling him. Oh, these enemies suck, by the way. But then my favorite is the one where it's like, oh, here's like... Because like a recurring motif in the game is, like, family of characters, so like Slippy has a wife, and then eventually kids in certain endings, but also like Peppy has a granddaughter, I think. And they're both playable. So like different endings, like there's one ending that I think involves like, I want to say there's an ending with an all-female team. It's just like, damn, that's surprising given the current state of the series. But also I feel like there's an ending with the kids too, like with Falco as the mentor and like one of Slippy's kids, because I almost just made a joke, and I don't know if I should make this joke, but basically that one Xenoblade copy pasta with Ricky, if you know, you know. But it's like, yeah, Slippy has a lot of kids in one of the endings, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there's an ending where, like, Slippy and Amanda, who's his wife, ends up, like, just living and, like, trying to protect, like, Aquas, I think. But again, it's been a hot minute since I've gotten a lot of the endings in that game, or even played it, period. There was a mod, actually, to allow D-pad controls instead of, like, stylus controls, but I feel like that game would need, like, proper analog to be remotely enjoyable. But yeah, it's a game that I have a lot of nostalgia for, versus we'll say it's good, because there's a lot of busy work, and also a lot of the endings are just kind of bad, but at least like funny bad. It's also got a weird life system too. It's just a mess of a game, but it's one that I actually enjoy, and almost would be tempted to stream it at some point in the future just to see how it's held up, and maybe do the mod or the ROM hack. And then, like, I'm actually not as hot in 64 as most people are. I like 64. It's not, like, you know, best N64 game for me, like it is for a lot of people. Like, it's just a game I'm kind of neutral on. Neutral positive. Like, it's not my favorite, but I still think it's pretty decent. But yeah, it's not like my go-to for N64 games, is what I'm trying to say. I like how I'm talking about Star Fox during the mother level, and not when Fox was actually on screen. Which actually, on a similar note, that's actually something to talk about with all these as histories of all these franchises, given a lot of these are not going to come up for Fox Girls favorites, so this is actually a good vehicle. So like for Mother, I played Earthbound when it came out on Wii U Virtual Console around 2016, I think. I had a decent time with it, used the guide, because of course I did. Then they dropped Earthbound Beginnings at some point, Mother / Earthbound Zero as fan translations called it, and that game sucks. That game is rough as hell, because it's an NES era RPG in a time when they weren't fully developed as a genre. Plus, there was the problem of, oh yeah, it's not even finished. Like, oopsie, we gotta rush this game out. We didn't difficulty balance the final area at all. Whoops. So even the North American version actually readjusts some things compared to the Japanese version. The best way to play it now would just be the GBA version of Mother 1+2 with an English patch, and also the Easy Mode patch that allows you to not suffer. We're not finishing this stage in 2 minutes, but we'll get through as much of it as we can. And then this stage, I guess I have a lot to talk about. Hi Rob, Robotic Operating Buddy. I've never played a Rob game. It's actually one of the only games, like, technical series that I've actually never played. Because obviously I've never played Chiramite or Stacker. Whatever the hell it's called, I actually don't know what it's called. We just had this conversation the other day, and I forgot. This game suck, yeah. Hey Marth. He didn't even have an English VA at this point. Could marketing play though? Yeah, I'm amazed they've never tried to make like a replica of Rob. Like a toy version. Not that it wasn't already a toy, but like a toy version of Rob. It's just like a... you know, like a figure. Like, I'm amazed they've never done that, actually. Hi, we're Marth now. Everyone's favorite character that no one actually knows what he's from in this time period, because, like... Fire Emblem was still very niche at this point, even though we had gone Blazing Blade and Sacred Stones. Also, Path of Radiance at this point, which we'll see later. But my overall take on Marth is I like playing as Marth, but I'm also really bad as Marth because I don't like having to land the tip of his sword to actually deal significant damage. I find that very difficult to land. Also, ads are coming up, as expected. That's great, son. So on that note, we're gonna pause here, and I'm gonna go, like, stretch and such. And we'll come back and see how far we can get. Hi. I returned, and good timing too, the song's just ending. Very nice. I like when it actually works out that way. It doesn't always. So yeah, I'll just get reset up here, and we'll be ready to go. Why am I at an angle? Probably because I stood up. I think we are ready to resume. So let's hop back to it. So yeah, my history with Fire Emblem is I played the GBA one, Blazing Blade, which is the first North American localized one. And I had a rough time, actually. To this day, I will always remember my very first playthrough. The game was real rough. When I finally beat it, which was actually after Sacred Stones, I did not get through unscathed. I lost Sarah at the very last level, and was at a point where I was like, screw it, I don't want to reset for that. So, yeah, not ideal. But as I alluded to, I kind of got walled on that game, so I eventually swapped over to... Well, I actually found a copy of Sacred Stones. Both were $10, and it makes me mad, because those games were like... are nowhere near that anymore. They're so expensive. A copy of Fire Emblem Blazing Blade, which is just known as Fire Emblem in North America, it was stolen, technically. Like a sibling took it and then refused to give it back, basically. Like, genuinely. And I wish I had been more assertive and just taken it back myself, just because, yeah, no. It's not like I'm ever getting a copy of that game ever again. Alrighty, so we now have Meta Knight. Top tier in this game. He's very good. I don't know how to tap into his potential. He actually can glide, so that's fun. You wouldn't see gliding in this game until, or in the series after this, until like Steve in Minecraft, I'm pretty sure can actually glide. A lot of characters had it removed going forward. Yeah, I don't know how to play Meta Knight efficiently, so this is not going to be the best gameplay, obviously. You know, Kirby goes without saying. We already did Squeak Squad and Air Ride for this series, so that's my history covered there. I do miss the poor kid's voices, like, off as it is. There's something charming about how bad 4Kid steps are to me. Serena and I have been going through One Piece when we have time, and it's been very interesting occasionally tapping over to like the 4Kids versions and like being amused at how off the dubbing is. Like, it's very disconcerting hearing like Jason Griffith as Usopp, but also very funny. This would have been at the very tail end of Pokemon having the 4Kids voice actors, so like, I think in this game, Pokemon Trainer is voiced by Michelle Knotts, if I'm not mistaken, who I think also voiced, a few characters. I want to say May. I may be wrong on who voices the Pokemon Trainer, but I could have sworn it was in this particular game. Because I don't think it was the actress as Ash in the anime at this point. It was someone in that cast, but not Ash. It's like, I want to say that was the voice of, like, Jesse. If it's who I think it was. Auto-scroller, if you like collectibles with very narrow times to collect them, this is the stage for you. This is part of the reason I don't promise things, because like there's a trophy behind here that I could not get on my practice run. Case in point, I still couldn't get it. I think I actually did get it barely. Oh my god, I almost got crushed there. That was fun. But yeah, at this point, I was still just kind of getting into franchises, because I, again, had stayed in a bubble for a long time. Again, even though I had a PS2, I wouldn't even play a single first-party PS2 game beyond, essentially, Gran Turismo, until, like, the year after this, which would have been Ratchet. Ooh, yeah. I'm still kind of debating doing that game. It'd be kind of a pain in the ass, just because, like, you know, it's not a game that has an easily accessible re-release anymore, so hardware might be an issue. It's kind of an issue there. But it is a game that does mean a lot to me. Of the Ratchet & Clanks, I remember having a good time with that one. But it's also been, oh my god, like 17 years since I played it, so who knows. I've actually never played Ratchet 1 in full. The reasoning for that was the same reason I didn't finish The World Ends With You, which is Ratchet is such an asshole, which is on purpose, by the way. But it was in such a way that it made me not really feel inspired to continue playing it. And it was the same thing as Twewy, where it's like, Neku is so annoying to me in the early part of Twewy that I just never finished it. He gets better from everything I've heard. And admittedly, I did have a game like that where I was so close to bailing, but then stuck it out and had a good time with it, which was Tales of the Abyss, because like the main character, that Luke, is extremely insufferable at the start. And I almost dropped the game because of that. So like, yeah, I was capable of sticking at a game like that, but it didn't happen as often at this time. I do want to genuinely give Twewy a fair shake though, and Ratchet 1 for that matter. The biggest issue I have with Ratchet 1 is no strafe lock on. It's like aiming feels really clunky. As someone who played Up Your Arsenal first, it just is weird going backwards to that game. This is part of the reason I feel, indirectly, of why I'm such a stickler for playing games in order now, because as a kid I kind of went all over the place. As a kid I actually went in reverse order a lot. Like playing Ouya first, then going Commando, then Ratchet 1, and then it was like, wow, that's not good to go in that order, as it turns out. Because you get kind of spoiled by the gameplay, so that's why I'm like so hung up on like playing all the Supergiant games in order. As an example, playing Pyre next instead of jumping to Hades or Hades 2, even though I really want to play Hades 2 right now. And everyone keeps telling me it's not that big of a deal, but I just don't want to have an experience where it's like hard to go back to Hades 1 or Pyre because I'm so used to quality of life improvements for Hades 2. Which I don't even know if that would be an issue or not. But that's just how my brain works. Good job, Marth. Oh hey, someone else joins. We don't have Roy anymore, but we now have someone else. We have Ike from Path of Radiance. The old Sentry, I got into Fire Emblem in 2008. I played the two GBA ones as previously stated, and then after, I think I would have played the remake of Shadow Dragon. That was 2009. I think I had it pre-ordered too, but the timeline kind of doesn't make sense, so I'm a little bit foggy on that. Afterwards, I would have played Path of Radiance around 2010. It was actually $30 through an Amazon warehouse, like new listing. It is basically pristine, complete in box for $30, and it is still to this day when people are like, "What's the best deal you've ever gotten on a game?" That's what I say, because like just a couple years later, Awakening came out. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, Fire Emblem is really cool. I want to play the old games," and then the prices of all the old games skyrocketed. So yeah, I feel very lucky to have found a copy of Path of Radiance for as cheap a price as I did. To this day, again, probably one of the best deals I've ever gotten in a game. One of the worst deals I should have taken, or one of the best deals I should have taken, was finding a copy of Skies of Arcadia Legends for GameCube, because that game's like $300 now. It's Sega too, so I don't know if it'll end up being re-released at all. Because Sega's so bad about re-releasing anything past like a certain era. That cutscene is very abrupt. I thought I accidentally hit A. I'm not even kidding. I love this remix of the Luigi's Mansion theme. If I had $1 for every Mario Bros that's gotten yeeted so far in the story, I'd have $2. Anyway, King Deity's here now. It's kind of weird how we haven't gotten a Kirby rep since Deity. And yeah, the cutscenes are going to change a bit depending on who you rescue, who you play as in some cases. I think in the gallery, you can only have one version, so whichever you do first. And he's been bamboozled. And off he goes. It's interesting how he has the WarioWare design and not his actual, like, main line design. Alrighty, that's a lot of characters unlocked. We're making decent time, actually. I'm a little bit surprised. I think this will still take 2 streams, though, because we have a big-ass level at the very end. This is a level that we actually can't 100% first try, if I'm not mistaken, because there's a bonus fight unlocked after beating the story. But like, as an example, instead of it being very, like, obviously the Lost Woods and everything, it just looks like a basic forest. It doesn't feel as distinct as it could. I don't know how you would differentiate it. I guess you could in this game, because Temple of Time is right there in Twilight Princess. It doesn't feel like a case of the worlds are merged into each other. It just kind of feels like they're all just plopped into a world together. And I think that's my slightest grievance with Brawl's level aesthetics, is it doesn't feel like it's anything directly tied to characters, except stuff like the Halberd that's like not technically tied to the world. It's a floating fortress. You know, she's just like me for real in this cutscene. Just an EB little thing. Oh, I miss Link's dash A in later games where he does like the little lunge forward. Again, I'm also not the hottest on Twilight Princess in general, which is, I know, a very spicy take. And not even for the reasons that everyone says. A lot of people are like, oh, the opening's too slow. I don't even have issues with Twilight Princess in that regard. I just think something about it doesn't hit the same. I think it's partly just because, in a lot of ways, it kind of hits a lot of the same tropes as Ocarina in a way. So going back from Twilight Princess to Ocarina, it definitely didn't quite hit right. Cause it's like, oh, this is just the same game but N64. Like, I went in reverse order again. But it kind of created this situation where it's like, a lot of the ideas in Twilight Princess kind of originate there, but there are some really good original levels. Snow Point, I think it's called Snow Point. Whichever the one with the Yetis is called, that one's like a highlight. Temple of Time is great. I'm more arachnophobic than I was as a kid, so I don't know how that would go nowadays. I mean, the Dusk recomp just came out, so like... I've been really tempted to go through it again. Like, an idea I've had for a long time is... Tentatively, I'm calling... A tentatively named, like, second chance game clearing. It's a mouthful though, so I'm trying to figure out a better way to put that. But just basically like a stream series of me essentially re-clearing games that I haven't played in a long time or had mixed feelings on. The only problem with that is the game I'd want to start that with is probably Sonic Frontiers. Because that's a game a lot of people really like and that I didn't really vibe with on first playthrough. Or second playthrough for that matter. Though the second playthrough did arguably go better. I kind of felt like I was clicking with what the game had in mind a bit more. But just as an opportunity to like give a framework to go through some older games that I have played before, but just maybe want to reassess in some ways. Including games I liked and want to go the other way around in, where it's like, I want to see if certain games hold up. So that's another angle for that. Because there are definitely games where it's like, I played this game one time and then never again, and I'd be curious to see how I'd feel going back to them. The little puppet enemies are very annoying to fight, as evidenced by me dying. Another idea for that is a game I actually don't own anymore, but I've thought about rebuying. No joke, but Secret Ring is in Black Knight for Sonic. Second chance game clearing may be a lot of Sonic games, because obviously Sonic games are ones that I kind of end up having like mixed feelings on, that I need to like kind of unpack a bit. And a second playthrough can sometimes be good to help unpack feelings like that. But yeah, I've definitely considered doing something like that as a vehicle to like go through and reevaluate certain games. I'm trying to think of other examples, like Tropical Freeze is actually one that might be in the reverse case, where it'd be interesting to see if I like it as much, because I remember liking it a fair amount. But that'd be a case of going the other way around of like reassessing a game I did like and seeing if it holds up basically compared to like all the other platformers that have come out since that game's release. Mario Wonder is another one actually, for obvious reasons, because they just dropped the Switch 2 update, so I'd almost be curious to redo the entire... Well, there's only one save file anyway, so I would be willing to like delete it and then like go through it again and try to like go through everything, including the new content, but like treat it like a fresh run for the sake of getting like that full experience basically. And seeing how I feel about it. Yeah. Oh yeah, we got Link and Yoshi, so to continue the pattern that I now established upon myself. My first Yoshi game was Yoshi's Island. That was going to be in Fox Girls Favorites, but I forgot. Like, not even kidding. If you watch like the Kitsune Tales playthrough back, I literally talk about like wanting to do Yoshi's Island. I forgot to write it down, I'm pretty sure. Or I took it off, I think, because of just having too many games planned or something. I had a reason. But the point stands that I liked Yoshi's Island a fair amount. I remember getting stuck on 2-8 for a long time. Or no, maybe it was 2-4. I think it was 2-4 actually. And no joke, the first time I beat that stage was like, I had a sibling who was doing like a Bible verse memorization contest, and while I was in attendance of this, I literally just had my Game Boy, my very dimly lit Game Boy Advance, and just played it there. Like, no joke. That's how I first experienced that game. Wait, I thought that was marked as completed. I thought that wasn't the case until you actually did the bonus part too. Or maybe I just missed something on my own time. Anyway, hi Zero Suit Samus. I have mixed feelings on Zero Suit Samus. If I'm being real. Cause like on one hand, she is very pretty. On the other hand, I feel like games lean into this too much. Maybe it's a case of Samus being too conventionally attractive. I should have explored more, that was dumb. I thought up was the optional path and down was the mandatory path. Oopsie, I probably missed a bunch of stuff already. This will be the first level that we don't full clear then. Because I don't really want to restart the level for that. On one hand, we're at the very beginning, but also, like, setting a precedent of I don't want to just replay a bunch of these levels, trying to find, like, scour for everything, especially the facility levels are extremely confusing to get through. So for my sanity, I think it's better if I just keep moving. You know, 100% be damned, basically. So now we have Pikachu. I don't need to explain Pikachu. I did a whole ass playthrough of Pokemon Platinum. If you want my thoughts on how I got into Pokemon, that's right there, if you want to see them. I do love Prime's theme. I don't know how to describe it, but Prime's theme is so goopy sounding. It's very fascinating, especially the version actually used in the original game. Like, it's weird to describe a song as goopy, but if you hear it, I hope that makes sense. Like, the little opening part sounds really gross in a way that's fascinating. It's like kinda yucky. And again, it feels weird to be describing a song positively in terms like this, but it's kinda how I feel about it. I also want to do more game clearing streams, but I'm always scared because I often end up getting frustrated by games playing them on the first playthrough. So I don't really want the showdown stream as much. So I deliberately don't do many game clearing playthroughs. I feel like most of my playthroughs I've gotten frustrated at on the stream were just tech issues more than the actual game. Like, you know, when we went through Guilty Gear recently, I feel like I didn't get that frustrated at the game, but the bigger issue was just me forgetting to lower the difficulty in the one game. That was the thing I got actually more upset by, because that was just a mistake on my part. But what was I gonna say? The other thing is, with Metroid, I don't actually know what my first Metroid game is, fun thing. I don't know if I played Fusion, Prime, or Zero Mission first, because I played them all at the same time. I'm like 90% sure I played Fusion before Zero Mission, but I don't know... Oh, that gets rid of the key. I don't know when I would have played Prime in relation to those two. I think I would have played those... I think I might have played Fusion before Prime, but I don't know about Zero Mission, because my memory's bad. But either way, the point stands. I like Metroid. I considered tossing a Metroid into Fox Girl's favorites. I might still, because there's still some wiggle room to the list. In which case, I would probably forego Prime as a second chance playthrough. No, that's not true. I've played it several times already. But I haven't played Prime Remastered. Do I count that as a separate game? Because it controls differently. Because that's cheap to just be like, oh, I know, Prime Remastered. For game clearing. But the point still stands. I'd probably do Zero Mission, because Fusion has a lot of, like, serious baggage tied to it. I also really like Metroid Dread, actually. I think Dread is very fun. Samus Returns isn't great. I actually don't like Metroid 2 proper that much, either. Or Metroid 1, for that matter. But I do like me some Zero Mission. There we go. Now, asterisk. Shine sparking. If you know, you know. I've done it. It was not fun, and if I didn't know you couldn't ledge grab those. If I did Zero Mission for Fox Girl's favorites, I would rewind for the Shine Spark. You know, the one. Actually, you might not, because there's like 3 that really suck. But yeah, that game really likes making you work for Shine Sparks. And it kind of sucks, but it's also kind of cool. It's something I always go back and forth on, because like it's cool, but it's also hard. So it feels like rewarding to get it properly, but it's also a pain in the ass to actually do it all. So that's why I always end up feeling so mixed on it, because it's like, this is neat, but also out of my hands. What else? I like Prime 1. I actually like Prime 2 a lot, believe it or not. Prime 2 is so weird, because, like, it feels sort of, like, punishing by comparison to Prime 1, I'd say. Like, you know, Spider Ball, Guardian, and, like, Boost Guardian and all that stuff. That's hard. And, like, big-ass, like, boss, the name of which I can't remember. The one with, like, the larval forms, I don't know the name of it. Yeah, no, Prime 2 just has really awful bosses. Like, just thinking about it, it's like, yeah, basically every boss in Prime 2 is like, oh no, this one. But I just feel like the vibes of Prime 2 are really good, so that kind of makes up for it for me. Not entirely, but a little bit at least. Anyway, so TLDR, Samus is trying to find her power suit, and Pikachu's being experimented on. I guess my weird take on it is I wish Samus wasn't this pretty. That feels potentially weird to say, but it's kind of how I feel about this. I kind of wish Samus was more, like, screwed up. Like, people do comics where it's like her DNA is just a cocktail of different alien races at this point. So like, what if she just had little bits of mutations for, like, the X-Parasite, Metroid, Chozo, and it's just all, like, manifested in different ways. Like, that kind of headcanon is really cool to me. I just kind of, I don't know. I see the vision with that. Alright, so now we have an interesting stage here. This one's long, I want to say. So depending on who you rescued at the beginning, you get a different fight here. It's Mario and Pit versus Zelda if you chose the other path, but as is, we're fighting Peach with Link and Yoshi. I don't know what the connection is between characters, because, like, you'd think Mario would know Yoshi, so then this whole sequence kind of does make sense, actually. This actually was a mistake I made, technically, on my practice run, because it's like, of the characters, I'm more familiar with Link and Yoshi than Mario and Pit on the whole. So yeah, I actually prefer to do that side of the fight, because I just find it easier to play as Link for some reason. Yeah, what else? I even kind of like Other M. I don't think it's a good game, I think it's a funny game. The deleter is the most unintentionally funny thing in the Metroid series. I stand by that statement. So yeah, we have a double battle with Yoshi helping us out. Like, it's just funny whenever they're trying to be dramatic and they're just like, the deleter. It's like, are you for real? Like, who wrote this? I mean, the actual answer was just written by someone who wasn't a native English speaker, from what I gather. Yoshio Sakamoto was heavily involved in Zero Mission, not Zero Mission, Other M, to the game's detriment because of just how hands-on he was with that game, and to a fault because of not, you know, really like, checking anything with anyone else, probably. I'm trying to think of another example of that. I feel like there's a lot of works where it's like, I feel like you needed an editor, and like, Other M is like a great example. Like, yeah, this gonna use like another edit pass, basically, because it's rough. I even kind of like Federation Force. I don't think it's great, but it's just kind of a mid, like, attempt at like a Monster Hunter, but Metroid. I don't think that's inherently bad, it just was like not what the franchise needed in like 2014, where like Amateur Art just got C&D'd. And there was like no sign of an actual mainline Metroid. But that goes into the very fun question, what's a mainline Metroid game? I don't know, I have no clue. Hi Zelda. Yoink. And conveniently Kirby shows up and saves the day. Where the hell did he come from, actually? Because, like, where was he previously? I forget what he was actually doing. Because Mario and Pit were together, Yoshi and Link were together. Where did Kirby come from? I forgot. So yeah, you get to choose 4 characters. Yeah, stages like this suck for replay because you have to do the opening fight every time. So like, if you miss something in like the level of Rayquaza, you have to refight Rayquaza every time, which just kind of slows everything down. Yeah, Kid Icarus, this is my introduction to Kid Icarus, was Brawl. And same goes for Fire Emblem too. I would not know about Fire Emblem if it wasn't for Smash. And I probably wouldn't have gotten into Zelda if it wasn't for Smash either. Though again, we haven't quite dissected that part yet, so... And we were going to, so I'm not gonna talk much about Zelda for the time being. I'm gonna save my thoughts on that for another time, as in probably the playthrough after this. Okay. Kirby's not doing great. Kirby's very light, and this game is so floaty that it feels like it's not a good combo. I'm trying to think of any other characters I haven't really talked about. Again, I shouldn't have talked that deep about Metroid if I'm still gonna go through it at some point. But again, I don't know if I'm tackling Metroid or not. Just because I like Zero Mission a lot doesn't mean I'm, like... You know, it's one of my favorite games ever. It's like, I don't think that's actually true. It's really fun, I like it a lot, but I don't think it's like, you know, breaking like a top 50 for me, like overall. I mean, some games on Fox Girls' Favorites aren't breaking top 50 anyway, but at least their games have sentimental value. Like Mario 2 is not one of my favorite games, but Birdo's in it. Again, technically my introduction to trans people, believe it or not. Auto-scroller. Again, I just feel like the environments are a little bit generic. I almost wish they were themed more, but it makes it very much feel like everyone's just dropped into, like, a new world, basically. Hi Freeze, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we're just going through Subspace, Emissary. So far so good. I'm making better time than I thought, albeit I skipped a lot of the previous level. But it's fine. Don't have to ask questions about that. I feel like there should be a door there, but there isn't. So we're moving on. Ow. I'm also using a classic controller. If you hear all the button noise, that's why. This is not a quiet controller. Oh, that's not pushing me. Oh, that sucked. But I lived. You're not doing great, but you'll survive. Aw, I'm sending you all the good vibes. I forgot this was still connected to the same level, I'm not gonna lie. These guys suck. I don't like fighting them. They regen, for one thing. No, these don't regen, but they basically are only vulnerable when their core is exposed. This song feels like a Castlevania song. The drama of it just makes me think of something from like Symphony. Which reminds me, I am looking forward to the next Castlevania game that they announced. I do love how it's being developed by the Dead Cells devs, so they have to like literally say, you know, Castlevania Requiem, which is not a roguelike. Tiny Tim, who did not die. Is it Requiem? I think Requiem is something else, actually. But the point still stands. It's right, Belmont's something. Belmont's Curse? I feel like that's a different game. Either way, the point still stands. It's like, it just is funny to me how much they're having to like overemphasize that it's not a roguelike. Because everyone's just so nervous about it being a roguelike. I feel like we've hit the farming sim level of farming sim dynamic with roguelikes, where everyone just got sick of everything being a farming sim for a bit. I think we're hitting the point where everyone's sick of everything being a roguelike. Okay, I'm not using specials much, I'm realizing. I'm mostly using smash attacks. Which is probably not smart on my part, but, yeah. Pat the Serena. I hope you feel better soon. Hope everyone feels better, because it feels like everyone's going through a rough patch. Can I break this? I can. Cool. Yeah, no Castlevania in this game. The only Konami character you get is Solid Snake. Oh. You were talking about the roguelike thing. My bad. There was something that just got announced as a roguelike, and everyone just kind of like, are you for real? And it's a shame, because roguelikes are cool. It's just there are too many of them right now. Who are here with... Well, not me, because I haven't gotten to that point, but hi, Jesse. Welcome. You're just going through Subspace Emissary. Hope you're doing okay. I'm sending good vibes to everyone. Again, it feels like everyone's going through stuff right now. I'm just gonna send a general good vibes. Yeah, something I actually think about a lot is like Ross, like company representation. There's a sub in this space. I could say something very self-deprecatory. I'm gonna hold back. But yeah, something I think about is like missed opportunities of like, you know, getting a lot of characters from one franchise instead of diversifying the franchises you get them from. Where it's like, instead of Sephiroth, would it have been nice to get a Final Fantasy character from a Final Fantasy that wasn't 7? And I think the answer would be yes. I understand why they did it. I would have been like, popping off for like Terra though. Genuinely, if you ask me to name a Final Fantasy character that's like super underrated, it would be Terra at this point. It's like, I don't feel like anyone talks about Terra that much. And she's so cool. But yeah, that's just me. Hi Charizard, I've got Yura in this game. Even though I just played it 2 weeks ago, I've got Yura this level. I don't know why he's just is carrying around photos of the Pokemon he wants to catch. It's like, do you not have a Pokedex? This is a weird comment, but I was thinking about Pokemon Trainer yesterday because for Marvel Rivals they announced the duo of Moon Girl and Double Dinosaur, except Moon Girl is like not seen anywhere. For obvious reasons that like I hadn't really thought of until I think it was Limit pointed out. It's like, you know what, that actually makes sense why she's not like playable. Like, the optics would be very bad by this character being very young, but and in a fight. But with this character just being off screen entirely, but just audible. I was thinking, it's like, wouldn't it have been interesting to have Moon Girl at least in the background, like Pokemon Trainer in Smash? Like, that was literally my thinking. Just have her, like, around, even if she's not, like, playable and directly involved. Yeah, I'm very indifferent about the next season of Marvel Rivals. It's cool, but there's not really anything directly for me, I guess. In general, I've just been kind of feeling like games as a service fatigue. Like, I've been having it with like gacha games too, as in the one I played still for some reason, which is Endless. Like, I tried to get back into Zenless, I kind of am still working on it. The biggest issue, and this is not a joke by the way, is I have a PS5, and I use my PS5 a lot for games that are heavy to run. One of these pits has a secret, and I don't remember which pit it is. It is that pit, okay. But when I run my PlayStation, my room gets so uncomfortably hot that it really sucks to use it. So I often only play PlayStation games in winter. So that's why I'm so pokey on like Zenless, partly. That's why I've never finished Final Fantasy 15, actually. Because I literally don't want to cook myself, essentially. It's like I'm a snow fox, I'm not designed for this weather. It's been so, like, the weather's been so weird this year. I'm so scared for summer as someone who's not, well, that was smooth. I'm so good at this game. As someone who's not a summer person, I'm very scared for the weather this year. Come down to you, it's colder. Yeah, that's the one benefit, for sure. Cause I feel like I'm melting. Maybe a puddle this year. Just a little snow fox shaped puddle. Lava room. The music is Mario Land 2, I think. If you're a puddle, it'll be easier to transport me. Touche. I don't like this room. It's just really annoying to hit the switches. In time before you just get fried. So I just usually tank damage because I'm lazy. Alright, up here. Oh, hi Midna. We got like Crystal's trophy earlier. That's my biggest gripe with Star Fox is, wow, this has like no women in it. And that's just a general series problem whenever they fixate on 64. It's like there are no women. Like, having a new Star Fox game that actually includes Faye and Mew from Star Fox 2, and also Crystal, that's kind of my, like, dream Star Fox scenario at this point, because it's like, I don't think we're ever getting that, unfortunately. Which sucks, because I should play Star Fox 2, and 1 for that matter. I've actually never finished the original SNES game. It's like, I really should, huh? Like, I guess what I was saying about Samus earlier does kind of apply to, like, Cat Monroe from the current Star Fox discourse for the remake, where it's like, in the original, Cat's very, like, cutesy, but, like, in her actual backstory, she's, like, very scrappy and, like, a member of Falco's gang formerly before he joined Star Fox, so it's like, it kind of makes sense that she looks a little, like, messed up, actually. Well, not as, like, you know, cute of a design, it almost makes more sense, kind of. You prefer your games menless, you say bisexually? See, that's where I'm at with, like, Des Disco at the moment. Like, no offense to the design of Charlie Disco, but, like, what if Charlie Disco but woman? Yeah, they are adding a female character option for that, but it's not implemented yet. We need another player model. It's technically in the game already, in terms of like... Oh wait, you're saying now, got it. Yeah, same. That's how I feel, but again, I vibe with design normally, at least. But just, yeah, what if girl? There's a Digimon game that's like weird, because like the first part of it has like a gender option, the second part doesn't. Like the Cyber Sleuth games, it's really weird. It's like they went backwards. Oh my god, this is a long elevator. Hi. Yeah, we're kind of schmoving. I'm kind of amazed by how fast we're getting through this. I say as I'm gonna hit a wall, because I think we have a boss coming up soon. Not this one, after this. Cause this is just the Scoober. Again, everyone's just ore farming in this story mode. Shovel Knight will go down in history for the option to make all the knights women, hell yeah. Honestly, I still need to play Plague, Spectre, and King. If you use the gender swap for the King DLC, does that make him a Queen card? I only have one joke, apparently. I haven't even used Lucas's specials at all, because I find them so unwieldy. You okay there, Wario? You seem to be having a time over there. It's kind of interesting. They're not really echoes, Ness and Lucas, because Lucas has very different properties compared to Ness. So, like, for example, his PK Fire is multi-hit. Ness's PK Fire is multi-hit, and Lucas's is just one big hit with knockback. Yeah, PK Freeze and PK Pulse have very different properties. Thunder is very comparable, but I think even that works a little bit differently. And Lucas's absorb move is he holds in front of him instead of like around, creating a shield around him. I do like this because it's very in character for DDD. Like, he's not doing the right thing in a good way by any stretch. But he's trying to do the right thing. Just in a way that's extremely backwards, and he should just like talk to people instead of just like kicking the shit out of them. Yeah, DD's kind of like that, where he's often got good intent, but very bad execution. I don't know why, oh, okay. I don't know why that part's in first person. It's weird. That's an interesting stylistic choice. Ow. Yeah, in terms of like a next Smash Bros, that's just a pure hypothetical. With the talk earlier about like doubling down on representation for one franchise, Ken is like kind of weird because he's an Echo. But I almost wish a different Capcom series would get a rep instead of just another Street Fighter. Like if I had to choose between another Street Fighter character or another Mega Man character for that matter, and like a character from a series that hasn't gotten anyone, I would pick a new series. My maximum, like, never will happen, is an Echo of sorts of Claire and Chill, because I'm homosexual. So, for example, in the remakes, they have different weapons. So for example, in Resident Evil 2 Remake, Claire has a grenade launcher, and Leon has a shotgun. And then in 3 Remake, Chill actually does have a shotgun also, but also has access to a mine launcher. So like for example, having like, if you have as an Echo, you could have one with You can have like Claire with the grenade launcher, and that just explodes on contact, versus Jill with the mine launcher and have it actually count down, basically. Or be proximity based. So like the same move, essentially, but just operating differently, like different properties, similar to some other Echo fighters. So yeah, that's kind of like my wildest shot in the dark of like who I'd want to see in a Smash Bros, of course, because I'm a lesbian and I like Resident Evil. Of course, I'd say those two. There's rumors about Claire Redfield being the main character of Resident Evil 10. I don't believe it. I don't think Capcom wants to acknowledge a woman over the age of 40 as a playable character. I don't like how Leon gets to look extremely screwed up and like beat up and everything, and then like the women have like pristine. My favorite dumb thing in Resident Evil 4 Remake is Ada gets shot in the arm and she's fine. Like when the characters in cutscenes take damage, they typically have that reflected in their character model and going forward in cutscenes. Like obviously gameplay damage doesn't stack that way, but story related damage does. So it's genuinely annoying to me that Ada isn't allowed to have a bullet wound. It's like, are you for real? Like her sweater repairs itself after that chapter. It's so dumb, in my opinion. Cause like, yeah, obviously she's got a sweater on it, definitely tears a hole in it, and there's no hole in the next chapter. It's so bad, and it's like, why? Yeah, in general, the female characters aren't depicted as roughed up as much as the male characters. One exception kind of being Grace, I guess. Because Grace does get extremely roughed up. But she's also supposed to be kind of like, you know, a fail girl, not like super action hero-y like Ada or Jill. So I guess it kind of makes sense, but it's also so frustrating. And again, even Street Fighter 6 kind of pisses me off in this regard, because like Ryu is allowed to be like extremely like scarred up and everything, and then Chun-Li shows up around the same age and she's just got like flawless skin, and it's like, are you for real? And Cammy especially, given like her character backstory. It's like, why does Cammy look so pretty actually? It's like, maybe it's just me, but I mean, to some degree, I almost feel like there's an appeal to characters looking not perfect, having imperfections, and it feels like female characters are never allowed to have that, but male characters are, and it bothers me to no end. Anyway, that's my TED Talk, I guess. Why you run like that? Yay, women. I agree. Women are pretty cool. Like all the cool women in chat. I mean, everyone, a lot of cool people in chat, just in general. And there he goes. God, you try? Yeah, same. Alrighty, so, MacGuffin time. What did these do? I forget Mr. EAD exists, partly because I don't play much F-Zero. Golden Fox, I like the name of that. I used that in F-Zero 99 the brief time I played it. No bias detected whatsoever. Hey, this is a One Piece timer. This is definitely a One Piece timer. This is ain't no way this is gonna be actually 3 minutes. Never mind, it was like 5 seconds. Hi, Master Hand. I forgot you were here. I want a mod that changes it so Master Hand just flips you off. Alrighty, 32%. Damn, we're kind of flying through this game. I'm genuinely surprised by how fast we're getting through this. Yeah, we missed stuff in the cave, which isn't surprising, and we definitely missed stuff in the research facility. I'm proud of everyone for trying, even if it's, like, not the best day for feeling like a lot of people. But yeah, sending good vibes to everyone, but also ads are coming up in a minute, so I'm just gonna pause instead of starting the next stage. We'll continue and see how far we can get. We definitely cleared out a lot already, so yeah, making good time. New NSO games for Virtual Boy, that's great. That doesn't surprise me, honestly. It had been overdue. I just wish the drip feed for everyone was better. I don't even like Sony's drip feed right now. It's amazing that the only PS Classic we're getting this month is it's like Time Crisis. And they're adding Gyro. That's cool. It's just like, there's barely any first-party games in Sony's like classic lineup on like PS4 and PS5. Like, you can't get any of the Ratchet and Clanks. I think they have to re-release the Jak and Daxters because the previous emulator broke for PS5. So yeah, it's like every drip feed tries to insane. And I'm in position once again, so let's resume. Thank you for the hydration check. Also, hi Chibi, hope you're doing well. Did my Wii remote shut off? I think my Wii remote shut off. One sec. Let's see if that fixes it. There we go. Guess we'll play as Lucas. This level kind of bites, I'm not gonna lie. Cause this is the one with one of the secret fights, and I was getting absolutely bodied just trying to get to the secret fight, and it was driving me insane. A little bit. But yeah. I don't remember how far into Subspace Emissary we are, but I think we're actually about halfway. But the problem is the Great Maze, which is like the last really big section. I don't know if we're getting through that in one stream, the back half, just because it's so long. Ow. Especially if I play like that. GameCube's been a drag, yeah. To be fair, the emulation on GameCube has not been amazing, so I'm sure they're having some kind of issue, and that's why there's a holdup. That's my theory on it, at least. Given that, like... I think it's like similar to N64, where it's like time is having to go into like balancing, adding new things, and also fixing it up, and it just causes the entire pipeline to slow down. That's my theory, at least. Yeah, those enemies suck, because they regen, like that, and it's awful. I don't like it. 3 years before we get Mario Party? Yeah. Again, this is why Dolphin exists, to be blunt, as someone who has all the Mario Parties physically on GameCube. Because, hey, I don't want to wait around that long. Hell. Okay, gold thingy here. I actually don't know what the difference is between the gold things and the not gold things. It's more likely for you to play Mario Party with me in person. Yeah, that's probably gonna happen first. It's weird that Sunshine isn't on there, given it's literally the game in the sample screenshot for the CRT filter. I think something probably went wrong, if I had to wager a guess. Sunshine has weird quirks to it to actually emulate, from what I understand. Same with Galaxy, actually. Like, there's stuff in the Switch versions of Galaxy 1 and 2 that are just an example of this is what happens when you upscale a game that was meant for 480p. It doesn't look great, because it's like taking a very low-res effect and then blowing it up, and then it just runs like ass. Like, certain lighting effects in Galaxy are still very messed up, and they're slowly chipping away at fixing them, but it still doesn't look great. Yeah, hi Tetra. That's gratuitous. For later. But yeah, I'm not overly like invested in NSO, I guess. But that's just me. I know a lot of people are, but I just, you know, most of the GameCube games I'd want to play right now, I already own. So like, it doesn't really have much appeal to me. SNES and NES had more appeal just because I don't own a lot of those games. So having like an official way to just easily boot them up is nice. We have Bulbasaur now. You just think it's neat? Aw, you're neat. That's where Ivysaur now. Wait, were we playing Lucas before, or were we Squirtle? I forgot. But we don't even get a health regen for that, or get to like switch characters. It's like we're just immediately thrown back into it, and I don't remember how to play Ivysaur. Ow. Case in point, I do not know how to play Ivysaur. Oh my god. It's getting a little bit bodied. Ow. I need to actually use specials, instead of just like using just one button. I'm playing this game like it's Battle in Wonderworld. Again, that's a game I still want to play someday, is Balan, just because I want to see how... I want to experience it for myself. That actually raises a very good question. What's Arzest working on? Because, like, it's been, what, 2 years since Sonic Superstars? It's like, I wonder if they're working on anything of note at the moment. Clearly, they're resurrecting Blink's Time Sweeper. I actually wouldn't be opposed to that, even as someone... That was a case of a game that I played because I wanted to experience it for myself, and also it was free in the month I had Game Pass. But, yeah, no, I did not like Blink's Time Sweeper one bit. I had a very miserable time trying to play that game. But this is what I mean, though, where it's like, I'm glad I tried it, because I genuinely... I'm glad I gave it a fair shake, even though I admittedly did not vibe with the game at all. God damn it. There we go. I think the other paths are just like looping background if you like screw up and you need to reset the switch, basically. Like so. Okay, yeah. Except this one has an item. Bunny Hood! If you're a fan of Majora's Mask, that's a cool item. It's the... It is the Majora's Mask version that it boosts, like, movement, speed, and everything. It actually makes this section very annoying, ironically, so it's more of a powered down. Yeah, I'm not the best at this game's, like, movement tech. I'm definitely floundering a little bit trying to just move. Oh my god, what happened to the switch there? Oh, I did it wrong. I had to hit the left switch. Oops. Well, I'm not full clearing this stage. It's fine. I lost a lot of frames just now. I don't know why. Sometimes I just have random encoder errors on OBS and I can't explain it. Oh well. This is a good victory road. I forget which one. I think this is Gen 3's, which I actually really like. How? What the hell? I tried. Did not work in my favor. Yeah, the CPU's can taunt. I don't like that, honestly. If a real person like teabags or something, I get actually mad at that. Like, not even kidding. Like, it actually makes me really angry. It actually makes me play worse, too, because then I get so mad that I'm not actually engaging with mechanics in a way that is smart. I don't know if I did that or the Dekunut did that. I think it was the Dekunut, like, he ran into it and that took him out. That's like the same animation, basically. Oh hey, this area. Big ass open arena. Totally not gonna have anything bad happen in here. Totally not. Suicune and Tetra. Dynamic duo. Oh, this level kinda sucks, if I recall. It's hard, at least. We're essentially halfway through, based on the number of stages. This is stage 17, because of course it is, I think. No, wait, this is stage 6. This is stage 15. So we're not halfway through, but the next couple stages are actually kind of short, if I recall. This one's kind of annoying, actually, trying to platform. I'm not playing as Ike for this, as I learned the hard way. Do not play as Ike for this. I like Ike in combat, not for platforming. Yeah, I just kind of wish, like, because the whole idea of putting, like, PS2 games on PS4, like, natively is really cool. Well, not natively, they're ports, essentially, or emulated. But yeah, I just wish the pace for that was also better, given that, again, there's so many first-party games missing from that lineup for Sony. It's, like, weird to me how many first-party games are still missing on PS1 and PS2. I don't think they even fixed Ape Escape. Like, they updated that for the new emulator yet. Because Ape Escape 2 was literally causing seizures. Not literally causing seizures, but, like, was an epilepsy risk for sure. Yeah, again, I just really want to have a native way to play Ratchet and Clank on PS4 and PS5, and not counting the remake, because I have such weird feelings on the remake. I think it's a competent game. I just don't think it works as a remake. I think it's a bad remake. But it's a fun game. It's like a weird mix where it doesn't remotely have the spirit of the original game intact at all. In a way that just, like, feels like they were trying to make a remake and then we're like, oh shit, we have to tie this into the movie. And so the entire project just almost feels like it derails at a point. But, like, if you were to judge it as just, is this game fun to play? The answer is absolutely. It's a very fun game. So it's, like, very conflicting, in my opinion. This is a good song, by the way. I forgot where it's from. And we have wind now, so that's cool. That's a nice PNG in the background. I was like looking at it, it's like, wow, that's a very static background. So these enemies suck. You have to like break their little crane hand thingy first, before you can hit their vulnerable spot. And if you don't do it fast enough, you have to break the crane again. And we're falling a very long way. Is there anything down here? Nope. I want to say there might be something in like the version in the Great Maze, but I actually don't know for sure. Is this the part that I don't like? Because there's one part that's mildly annoying in this stage, and it's not quite here. But yeah, the other thing that's frustrating me at the moment is I really want to play Tales of the Abyss again. Partly for Fox Girls Favorites, actually, but the options right now are PS2 and 3DS, and both have their issues right now, in terms of, like, emulation of either. Like, running my actual copy through, like, the thing where you can broadcast your 3DS to, like, a PC, that literally would be the best option, and that does not work great for my testing. The video quality is not good, the frame rate's pretty low, etc, etc. So yeah, not really good options for streaming that game, unfortunately. Because it feels like they're just remaking everything except Tales of the Abyss. Like, why did Tales of Berseria get a remake? That's a PS4 game. This is the part I don't like, because it's like canons. It's a canon event, you could say. Oh, hi! I don't know if the alert played. there it is. That was weirdly late for some reason, but thank you. Thank you for the Prime sub. That's very much appreciated. Thank you kindly. I don't know, I'm southern now. God damn it. I'm bad at barrel mazes. If you see me play DK, you'll die inside. Like, I'm so bad at cannons. Like the barrel cannons in DK. Yeah, thank you very much. I really need to incentivize subbing more. Like emotes and stuff, but I am bad at planning for things like that. God, is the fastest way through it just to do this? Might be, actually. It doesn't feel fast, but that might be faster than going around. Alrighty. So far so good. Oh my god, they just dropped these... That's so rude, they make you redo the whole thing after you get the secret. Like, genuinely super rude of the game. Oh well. Moving them right along. Is this the boss? I think we're coming up to the boss pretty soon. Okay, cutscene. Case in point. It's almost like I just played this game not that long ago. I keep wanting to call this guy Duraludon, but that's a Pokemon. For a boss, I definitely want to play as Ike, though. This is Gallium. That's not even the right boss. It's like the other one that I was confusing with the Duraludon. Wow, I'm bad at dodge timing. I don't know what the best strategy for this would be. I'm just like face tanking everything. Like just run into everything. Reckless abandon. What blew up that? Genuinely have no clue what just blew up. Oh, that hits on the way back too. Okay, or the hitbox is long is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, okay, he lived. Now. He has a counter too, it's just I am bad at countering with Ike. I used to spam counter a lot as a teen, and then got like out of that habit because it's a very bad habit. You can be easily read and then countered, ironically. Because if you counter too much, then it leaves you wide open for a grab or something. See, that's his fighting game fundamentals right there. I was trying to blow up the box just because it would be funny at the very end. Now it's gonna jump down. You miss Gallium, come home to Christmas, you too? Oh my god. And, well, down the hole he goes. I'm getting all the Star Fox assault trophies for some reason. Alright, this level. The Ruined Hall. Yeah, I'm starting to think this might be a longer stream game than I was expecting. I was hoping 2 streams, but I'm actually leaning more than that now. Like 2.5, and then we'll do Adventure Mode, or Classic Mode and All-Star Mode after. Because I genuinely don't... Like, if we're just hitting the halfway point, though some of the later stages are very short, and some are also very long. Yeah, that's bad. Okay. We're fine. We're not fine. We're very much not fine. Yeah, given how long some of the late game stages are, yeah, this might be a longer playthrough than I was expecting. Again, it's partly just I'm not the best at Smash Bros. Which is fine. Not my fighting game, like, expertise. That's Guilty Gear. That's another, like, wishlist character. So I want a Guilty Gear character. It'd probably be Soul, because of course it would be. There we go. But I almost feel like because of, like, history with the console, I almost feel like if there was an Arxis character, it'd probably actually be more likely a double tracking character. He's got a bomb in his head. And Pokemon Trainer just passed the hell out. That's risky. See, that almost felt like 15 seconds. That felt relatively accurate for once. And there goes Wario. Gotta replay Subspace sometime. It's been so long. Yeah, I'm an Echo. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone's doing okay. I think we're halfway through at this point, which is a Wario dying moment. Yeah. Munsly. So, what's next? On the docket, the Wilds 2, I think. Don't know what the stage is, actually. I think this is a Mario and Co. stage. Mario dies while Lucas and Pokemon Trainer trauma bond. Hi, Pit. And everyone. Sure, we haven't actually played... I'm mostly just playing Link, because he's the character I'm most comfortable with, which isn't even true, because I'm more comfortable with the other Link. Plural. Actually, other Links, plural, because Toon Link and Young Link, both, I prefer in the series. I actually don't know what all is different with Young Link and Melee in particular. Oh god, an auto-scroller. Neat. My favorite thing, just what I want to see. I love auto-scrollers. I'm not being sarcastic in the slightest. Especially auto-scrollers that have enemies that I'm not a fan of. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Mites. I was like, what is this called? It's like, right, they show the name. Yeah, if I had a wish list of future Smash characters, yeah, I think my most... Wow, that was real smart on my part. Good job, me. Yeah, I think my most wanted would be a Resident Evil character. I know it would be Leon, but let me hope. Because of course it'd be Leon, but... I mean, he would be the most combat sensible one. But that's just me being biased. I like Chill. I like Claire. I even like Grace, even though I still haven't played Requiem. I want to eventually play it, maybe. I don't know. I'm so conflicted on it. If you had a nickel for every Link in this game, you'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's ready to happen twice. And then it happens 3 times. There's a door down there. I'm gonna sneak on through. Big thing there. I think that's the only really... Oh, hi, Metal Gear Ray. I forgot you were in this game, actually. I know I knew Rex was, I knew the geckos from 4 were. Again, it's really weird that, like, there's a lot of references to MGS4. 0 feels like the next logical one. I would just kind of be annoyed at them doubling down on Mega Man, I think. Like, I'd prefer someone not Mega Man, just because that'd be a little bit more, you know, fresh, I guess. In general, I almost feel like, for a lot of franchises, I'd prefer to see new franchises versus new reps for old ones. So X is debatably not the same as Mega Man. It's complicated, I don't know how to classify that in some cases. Alrighty. Just gonna dodge all y'all. Only Sonic, yeah. I don't know who they'd put though, probably Shadow, which is like... Sure. I'll take Shadow, but also I'm also just not in the mood for a new Smash Bros. I'm gonna be blunt. I'm not looking forward to another 5 years of Smash Bros. Discourse. I'm tired. It's bad enough with like all other fighting game discourse of just like people getting real pissy about which characters like everyone was so tilted at Ingrid being in the game for Street Fighter 6, and it's like, I don't get why. I know her only game is Capcom Fighting Jam, but still. Or Evolution. I forget which title's which. Yeah, everyone wants their picks and it's volatile otherwise. Yeah, that's kind of just gaming discourse in general, I've been thinking. It's like a lot of people have their one main and they will refuse to play a game until their main is in, and I'm like, I don't operate that way. I dabble if my main isn't in by like a franchise. Like, again, no June in Tekken 7. I still enjoyed playing like shopping around a bit with like Kimitsu mainly, and then also a little bit with like Lily. I played Alyssa also in Tag. Billy Hatcher would never make into Smash because that requires Sega also remembering Billy Hatcher exists. If Billy Hatcher can't make it into Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, I don't know how Billy Hatcher would be in Smash. Hi, Rob. You're gonna have another Angry Bird and you'll like it. You know what? I hate it. I just realized Angry Birds in Smash Bros. Is not actually that far-fetched. Sega's more likely to go with the big franchises, which is Sonic and Yakuza. I can picture Ichiban if Sega also remembers they made Ichiban. I'm so mad at two separate franchises, DMC and Yakuza, for both being like, we're setting up a future generation. And then it's like, lol, nah, bring back the previous character. Because like they did that with Kiryu into Ichiban, which is just infuriating to me. And they did that, and then Capcom did that with Dante and Nero, where it's like, oh, he's the main character, except lol, Dante's still here heavily. Also, let's just make everything with Dante going forward. They're remaking every game with Kiryu, and that drives me insane, slightly. It's also not a good stopgap, I feel. Like, the mentality of, like, well, we don't need to have, like, Claire Redfield in a new Resident Evil, because she's gonna get a Code Veronica remake. It's like, that's not a new game. That doesn't count in the same way. The last new game with Claire would be Rev 2. That was 2012. And weird. Also Phoenix Wright, yeah, because Apollo gets shelved immediately. I'm just... I don't know. Like, my idea would be Athena taking over, but god, I don't think that Capcom would do that. They said they were committed to Ace Attorney in their fiscal briefing. And I don't believe it. I feel like everyone gets kind of screwed over in Spirit of Justice. I don't think that game's kind to most of the cast. It's like, I like Spirit of Justice probably more than most of the fan base, but like... God, the final case sucks so much in that game. Like, genuinely, the final case felt like it took like 5 hours to get through the last segment of it. It's like, are you for real? Like, this does not need to be this long. We don't need to pull an investigation scan. We don't need to drag this out this long. SRJ got you back into the franchise. It's fair. I like Spirit of Justice except for literally the final part of the trial in 6-5. Because it just drags, and it's the same thing I don't like about Investigations 1-5. I've not played Investigations 2 yet, because I kind of want to play the collection version, because I'm curious. I know fan translations exist, but... 6-5 did better, that's fair. I don't remember much about it other than being like, please make this case end. I'm ready to move on from this game. Knowing Capcom when they're like, we're committed to keeping, like, Ace Attorney going, it's like, you're gonna get Layton versus Phoenix Wright remastered and you're gonna like it. You like Dual... Why did I forget what DD stood for? You like Dual Destinies more than Spirit of Justice? That's almost... Yeah, I can see that. I don't really No. Oh my god. Serena, Serena, I can't tell if you're joking or not. Because I don't even think you're wrong. I think it's very likely we could get like a Famicom Detective Club style like reimagining of Ace Attorney 1 through 3. Or even just in the style of like the other games, like 3D animated. They did update Phoenix's voice for the original collection, for the OG collection. Yeah, that's true. Like, they probably wouldn't... It's Capcom, they're so weird about this stuff. They might remake it even though the current version's still available. You never know. I just wish there was an option for, like, the original, like, DS sprites in the trilogy, because the mobile ones are almost too smooth. Big Diddy Kong. Right? Or am I misremembering? I thought it was like a giant Diddy Kong. Oh, hi Falco, you're here now. I kind of forgot he was here. Yeah, this is a game where he's not a clone. They actually differentiate him a bit. I was trying to talk about like character histories, but we haven't gotten a new character that's actually got stuff to talk about in a long time. Yeah, you had read someone describe the media as currently trying too hard to appeal to millennials that can't even afford the things that are pandering to them, and god, does that feel accurate? That's what everything SNK does, feels like. Like, genuinely. That just feels like SNK at the moment. Which is like, I don't even want to talk about the Harada thing, I'm gonna be real. Ow. Alright, I'm just gonna... Can I just cheese you off the side? It's like, oh my god, this is not a good arena for a giant character fight. Because it's so hard to get knockback going. Also that. The problem with full VA is they'd have to voice all the nonsense that you can present. Like, oh, do they want to voice every scene where you can present your trainee's badge to someone? I don't know if they'd want to go to that much effort. Like, this is just dumb as a fight, in my opinion. Like, because, like, you can't, like, cheese him off the stage very easily. You can't easily knock him out. I don't know. And he just yeets you like that. It's like, I don't know, this fight's not fun. There we go, Jesus. What was he at, like 250 something? Anyway, hi Diddy. Oh wait, you're still here, right? You were still an option for that fight. I do like these cutscenes where he's like... Because it's a callback to Fox, and he's just like, well, at least it isn't me this time. See, now I'm thinking of that meme of like... Take a work, and then replace... Keep one actor, and then replace everyone with Muppets. Is this the level that has the other secret door? Because god, that means you have to do the Diddy Kong fight again. But like, you know, do Ace Attorney, except every character is a Muppet except for Wendy Old Bag. No. I don't know if I want to do that now. That's a lot of work. Wait, why is it playing this song here? There's not a single Yoshi character on the screen right now. Why is it playing the Yoshi's Island song? Probably for vibe, but it's like weird to me. Like not a song choice I would expect. I like the rainbow. I want to say this might be a stage builder background. I cannot believe I got that angle correct. Like, not even kidding. I was not expecting to get that angle. Alrighty. Yeah, the leak was kind of debunked. at least from the original source, but I also don't think it's far-fetched to say not Ace Attorney, Devil May Cry could get a remake. Just from the perspective of, again, similar logic as Star Fox actually, where it's like, it almost feels logical to remake DMC1 to set up a team to keep the franchise going. Which is kind of speculation about remaking Star Fox 64 again. It's just, you have an easy baseline to introduce a new team to Star Fox. It's like developing Star Fox. But DMC1 I think makes sense because, like, Isinio's left, so then they need to, like, re-establish a DMC team. So I think a remake's a good way to go. The only problem is, what tone do they go? Do they go the goofy tone of the later games, or do they keep one's tone relatively serious? I actually don't know what they do. Yeah, DMC1 is a fascinating game. I want to play it. I own it, and I kind of want to go through the collection. Yes, including 2. I would be crazy enough to stream 2. Maybe not to completion, but I would at least want to start 2 on stream, just to experience it with people. 2 is bad, but it's fun bad. The only DMC I don't own is DMC, which sounds really confusing now that I'm wording it that way, but like DMC Devil May Cry. All I know about DMC Devil May Cry is like the opening bit with like the pizza. And there's like that one famous, like, I think it was a game developers conference thing where they're talking about like, you know, Dante can't seem gay. And it's like, okay. It's like, God, I don't miss the 2010s. It's on sale. It's definitive, so it might actually be worth looking into. Oh shoot, I forgot that platform moved. Well, that's awkward. I'm glad there's water, because they didn't need to be that generous. Yeah, I hear Season 2 is not as bad as Season 1. It's an improvement. Yeah. If I had $1 for every time Capcom didn't put the definitive edition of a game on Steam for Devil May Cry specifically, I'd have $2. Because like DMC5 definitive is still not on Steam. No, you only get like ray tracing anyway, and you can like mod in Legendary Dark Knight anyway, so it's not a huge deal. And ray tracing just kind of tanks performance anyway in most games that I've seen, so it's like, it's really worth it to even do ray tracing. Oh, hi. This is probably gonna be the last stage for today, because this is a long stage, if I recall. Unless the next one is short. Again, I don't know how to divide this up, is the only problem, because, like... Again, I'm already kinda... Like, there won't be another time for another segment. I don't know. We'll wing it. But yeah, in terms of other characters, I would actually be down for, like, a Dante. The only problem is who would voice him at this point. Because also, like, do you go campy or do you go, like, DMC1 where they're trying to be serious, trying being the operative word, because, I don't know how successful they are, but they do try to be serious compared to 3. Onwards, where Dante's kind of more of a... What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, like, oh my god, what? Where do I go, actually? I hit a switch. What does that do? Oh, shoot, right. We go down here. Okay. Well, that was a waste of a stock. I didn't need to... Oh. I love Pikachu's climbing animation. It's very silly. Yeah. Oh my god, ah! Okay, we're alive. I just got a Steam pop-up, thank you. I don't know what it's gonna end up being, given the current conversation, but thank you. It's like the Russian roulette of which which game is it gonna be. I mean, again, I'm curious in just going through all of them, because the only one I've played is DMC4. I want to play more Resident Evil 2. I want to play 5 and 6. I want to play 6 and Biohazard. But I want to play Biohazard with friends, because I don't think I would do well playing Biohazard by myself. I think I would have a panic attack. DMC4 is pretty good, I would say. I was thrown off when Dante showed up, because it's like, how the hell do I play as this character? Like, genuinely had no clue what I was supposed to be doing when it switched over. I still wish there was DLC for 5 where you could play as Lady and Trish, because of course, that's my priority. Okay, this feels like a fight that was meant for 2 people, but I'm by myself. Alrighty. That hits from behind? Okay. Did not expect that. But yeah, I want to play more of the series. There's a lot of games I want to get to. I used to main CSS. I mean CSS in 4, briefly. I was always bad at getting a main in this franchise. Ow. The one only has 34 damage, that's not great. Yeah, I'm just like constantly bouncing between characters because I never really felt like I had a character that meshed with me. The problem with acknowledging messages on stream is then, this has happened on multiple occasions, then other people start messaging me too. This is, yeah, not the first time this has happened, somehow. Marth in Melee? Yeah, I remember a conversation one time where I was like buying a GameCube controller for my actual GameCube, and the GameStop employee just assumed there was a Smash Bros. And it was like, hey, who do you main? I'm like, I don't know, Marth? And they're like, Mario, yeah, good choice, or something like that. No, it was the other way around. They thought I said Marth, but I said Mario, because I meant like literally playing Mario games. And it's like, oh. The instructions unclear. Yeah, I'm not doing great at this fight. Okay. I'm expecting Taboo to go real bad, because it went real bad on my, unlock everything run. Like, yeah, the Taboo fight went absolutely atrociously. Serena wasn't called with me, she can confirm. Anyway, we got the power suit. Yeah, I don't know, something about Zero Suit Sam is just like, I think she should be a little bit more beat up at this point. Given how much she's been through, she should be more beat up. Like in Zero Mission, sure, but like by Dread, it's like, you know, she should be like an absolute mess. Again, that just goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's like women in games are allowed to have like defects. You're allowed to be kind of roughed up at all, visually. Even though it would make sense in a lot of cases for them to look like they've been through multiple fights. This is a good version of the theme of Samus from that one game, 2, Return of Samus. Oh my god, Samus in this game feels heavy as hell, oh my gosh. Because they kept changing her playstyle because of whatever the newest game was, but they didn't change her actual moves. So for example, like she's heavier in this game compared to Melee because Prime was the recent game. Then she's lighter in Other M, or faster in Other M, so she's back to being lighter in 4 and Ultimate. It's so weird. I just think every character needs a moveset overhaul at this point, from like pre-Melee, or like pre-Smash 4 basically. Even Shulk I think could use a rework, to be blunt. I've seen so many people talk about Shulk being flanderized by his appearance in Smash, and I don't know if I agree with that, but I'm also kind of a Shulk hater. Hate is too strong a word. I just think Shulk is not as good of a character as everyone makes out to be. Spoilers. Smiles. But yeah, I have an idea specifically of what I'd want to see for Shulk. I don't know, something about Shulk just didn't hit for me. Like, Xenoblade 1 in general, I have like mixed feelings on their overall characters. I like certain characters, but not others. The main character I do like is Melia, because I'm predictable. This was before I knew who Jenna Coleman was, for the record. Just saying that. But yeah, I don't know, Xenoblade 1's just didn't hit right for me, and I don't know why. Then I played 2, and I disliked the gameplay of 2 immensely, but I really vibed with the characters and themes. And I've learned to accept the gameplay of 2, but I'm still not like a fan, if that makes sense. Like, I'd rather play a different game that didn't obliterate my soul to play. Meow, thank you. That didn't catch me off guard for some reason. Maybe, I don't know. I don't feel like I was expecting it, but it also didn't catch me off guard. It's weird. Hi, guess who does not remember where to go in this stage? It's super fun when you get going with it, but the problem for me is I just am bad at getting going with it, so I just kind of flounder until I remember how to actually play the video game. It's not easy to jump into and back into if you take a break, and I take breaks with Xenoblade. I've always done that. I took a long-ass break with Xenoblade 1, because again, ironically, I wasn't really feeling it. Also, my sibling at the time deleted my save file when I was like 10 hours in. That also kind of sank a lot of my motivation to keep playing it. So, yeah, there's that story too. That happened with Fire Emblem Awakening too, where like, he deleted my save file. But at least I was on a replay, so it wasn't as bad. Like, I'd beaten it before he deleted my save, so it wasn't as annoying. I want to be able to play a game like that again. For some reason, I've gotten really bad at that. Like, I just don't have the brain cells to do binging anymore. Like, I was thinking about Lost Odyssey, because I kind of want to get rid of my Xbox. For obvious reasons. But the 2 exclusives I have left that I have not played are... Is that right? 2. Yeah, no, that's correct. The 2 exclusives I have, essentially to Xbox, that have never been released, are Lost Odyssey. I never even picked up Blue Dragon. But also Ninja Gaiden Black. Which I tried and I didn't like. I did not have a good time with Ninja Gaiden Black the one time we played. I got obliterated. Oh, this is the wrong door. Oopsie. Blue Dragon's good. That's Toriyama, I think. All I know is it's like Mistwalker. Was it Mistwalker? I think it was Mistwalker. Because no Lost Odyssey was. And Toriyama definitely did the art. It's very obvious. Okay. Up we go. Neat. Okay. We're fine. I forgot we go through the other door first. Again, I play very fast and loose. I'm not being careful, I'm also normal, so I don't really have to be as careful, but still. Yeah, I don't know if we have time for another stage after this, unfortunately. Because I think the next stage is actually pretty damn long. If it's the one I think it is. I don't know if I want to go over time today. Oh wait, we have a boss actually. So we probably, this will probably even out, because we have a boss. Outside the Ancient Ruins is next. So yeah, we got through about 2/3. I can't believe like they do this again in Other M. I can't believe they do this in Dead or Alive Dimensions. I forget that game exists sometimes, but then it just had, like, it come to me as I was saying that. It's like, wait a minute, there are Life Dimensions does this too, because, like, they have a stage based on Metroid Other M, because Koei Tecmo. I don't know who to play. Pikachu makes more sense from a gameplay perspective, but Samus makes more sense from a lore perspective. Because it's like, I actually like playing as Pikachu, and I don't like playing as Samus. Yeah, the cutscenes are very good still. I just feel like I'm autopiloting the gameplay a lot. Other M is bad, but funny bad, potentially. At least I find it funny bad, more than bad. Again, I'm someone who loves enjoying media, ironically. I grew up with MST 3K, so I think that shaped my humor. Being able to, like, wanting to riff on things. Yeah, gameplay-wise it's actually not bad. I just wish it supported the nunchuck or classic controller, so, like, movement didn't feel so bad on a D-pad. Alrighty, almost there. Again, I'm just chipping them out at this point. Well, that should... Oh my god, that pushes the explosion. You learn something new, I guess. Oh no. Okay, we're good. We're fine. You live. Yeah, I didn't know you could move that. That was fun to discover live. And you're outside. Yeah, I don't know how long the next stage is. I think it's pretty long. Because it's the one with, like, two new characters. And some pretty beefy stages coming up. So yeah, I don't think we're finishing this next time. I think I will take another stream after this. Yeah, Captain Falcon and Olimar are next. So yeah, I'm gonna stop there actually, because again, this is gonna take a bit. Yeah, honestly made pretty good progress. Again, 19 out of 31 stages for the first stream is not bad. Again, I'm just thinking, I don't know if we're finishing it just because the Great Maze is gonna take a bit. That's my main concern with that. Not concern per se, but just like feeling of why I don't think I'm actually gonna beat it next time. But hi. Thank you all for watching. That was a lot of fun. We'll try to finish this up very soon, actually. I'm just quickly glossing through some stuff here. Maybe not the right way to put that, but like scrolling through some stuff, just checking. Huh, okay. Right, that's happening, right? Yeah, okay. Should go eat dinner, yeah. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a good one, you too. Why is my voice cracking so much? Probably because I've been streaming for 3 hours. I'm gonna finish this tea. Wow, that went down the wrong pipe. Okay. So anyway, now that I've dealt with that, thank you all for watching. I also, what Free said about losing a save, simply save to a Wii U dying. That's part of the reason why I'm running this off a hard drive, not the actual disc, because I want to preserve my Wii U as long as possible, because there ain't no way I'm replacing it if this goes. I hope I can get through this and Wind Waker before my Wii U conks out. It's a launch model, so I don't know how much time I have left with this console. But yeah, thank you all for stopping by. Thanks for the subs and everything, and just the general support. Means a lot to me. If you enjoyed the stream, I have a YouTube channel. Oh wait, that's the wrong order. See, I've been taking so much time off from streaming, I'm forgetting my routine. Hi, if you enjoyed the stream, you can follow for notifications so when I go live in the future. I have a YouTube channel for, like, posting episodic versions of streams. I have a VOD channel, usually with intermissions removed, unless people are actually talking, like, in voice, like co-coms, which I need to do more stuff with co-coms. Brain, please. I have a Blue Sky where I post updates and other random thoughts, and mostly just repost art of pretty anime characters. I have a Ko-Fi is a tip jar. Wow, I'm out of my routine. And I have a Throne for sending me gifts, allowed to being completely optional, but any additional support is greatly appreciated. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be blunt. On one hand, Virtual Boy is not what I would have wanted for this month, but on the other hand, I saw it was Jack Bros, so I'm kind of back to being more okay with this update. Because that was like a very rare Virtual Boy game, so that's actually kind of cool. Again, I hope that they add the option to play these without the headset, because yeah. My brain is melting. I'm out of the routine. Yeah, I'm back to the Xenoblade talk real quick. I don't even know where to slot Xenoblade 1 in, because I feel like I should play Xenoblade 1, but it wouldn't be for Fox Girls favorites. It might be a second chance game clearing, like I was talking about earlier. Because I've only played the original once and Definitive once, so I kind of rushed Definitive to get it done before 3 came out. I say rushed as if it didn't take like 4 months to get through. For me, that's rushing a Xenoblade. But yeah, maybe I should do that. But it wouldn't be for Fox Girls favorites. 2 and 3 would be, though. The problem with 2 and 3 is I don't know if I would include Torna and Future Redeemed. Like, are we counting these all as the same game, or are we counting these as separate games? That's something I need to actually think about. Same with Splatoon, because Splatoon 2 is on the list, and I don't know how to handle that, actually. But yeah, I was trying to think if we had a raid message. I feel like we did have one. Spoon. I was just scrolling back down. I could have sworn there was something that Serena said that I kind of was holding on to for a raid message. I don't know what it was exactly. Yeah, no, it scrolled up too far. Yeah, I think it was the thing about, like, Lucas and Pokemon Trainer trauma bonding. But I don't know if that would be good for a raid message. So what is happening over here? What is this tier list? That gives it away, probably. Should you be saying stuff? Is this too long for a raid message? I don't know if this is too long for a raid message. Oh shoot, I didn't do the thing on Blue Sky where I can say you're live. Damn it, I knew I was forgetting something. You see no issues with it? And you want it to be longer? What about that? Is that better? See, I don't know how I can make it any longer. I'm not that creative. Okay. If the person in question hasn't played Brawl, this will be very interesting, but I'm guessing they've played Brawl. I guess we're gonna go raid Twy, because I already kind of gave that away. So yeah, that is a very long raid message for today. I've never done a raid message that long before. Don't even fit in one line. Yeah, thank you all for watching. Schedule for the week. Friday, we'll continue this. Monday, we'll probably finish up Great Maze and like all that, and then work on the other modes. And well, that'll be Monday, Friday until we finish it, and we'll move on to the next Fox Girls Favorites. Wednesday will be a variety day. Hell if I know what it's gonna be. I don't remember. My memory is bad. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope everyone has a good rest of your day and a good evening. That's kind of redundant saying it that way, but you know what I mean. But yeah, again, thank you all for watching, and I will hopefully be back to streaming very soon. Good night, everyone. Take care.